Hello guys, it's me Zain, and today I'm gonna show you how I kept my vandas watered for 2 weeks while I was away on a vacation. Okay, so if you have vandas, you know that they need watering every day if you keep them bare rooted, hanged up, as they usually come from flower shops, garden centers. Keeping vandas bare rooted is a common thing worldwide because they enjoy a lot of air. My method of keeping my vandas is that I soak them every single day for like, I don't know, half an hour, and then they are hanging outside under sun and they are getting sunshine from like let's say from 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m. and then from like 3 or 4 p.m. to sunset. So this is how I keep my vandas, but they really need that watering every single day. Sometimes I forget to water them, or sometimes I am just lazy. Let's say for 1 day per week I just don't water them in the morning because I used to soak them in the morning every day. This is really just incorporated into my morning routine, watering the vandas, yes. You know, morning routines, it's different for everybody. I was thinking how to keep my vandas watered, and I got a few ideas before I went away. And I was looking around what kind of pots I have, what kind of solution can I think about, what kind of DIY can I actually make for my vandas to get watered but not to get like soaked for like 2 weeks straight because the root system would rot. And as I was looking around my pots, older pots and stuff, you know, gardening stuff, I found something. So at first, let's go back in time for like a year when I received some orchids for saving. I received some oncidiums, dendrobiums, nobili dendrobiums and phalaenopsis dendrobiums to save in a special pot, which is the Lechuza pot. And the Lechuza pot is gaining a little bit more popularity this time around the orchid YouTube videos because Miss Orchid Girl made a few videos about this Lechuza pot system and using that and stuff like that. Back then I said I had to give these pots back. I really like it, but it's not mine, so I need to give these pots back, so I will actually use only the orchids. It did not happen because the woman didn't need those pots, so I kept them. You know, I was like, no, what should I do with this Lechuza pot? So I just kept it and did not use it for anything because I wanted to give it back, but in the end she didn't need it for like 1 year. So I thought if I will use them for like 2 weeks, it's not gonna be such a problem for her. Because the Lechuza pots have this thing which is based on wicking the moisture up to the actual medium from a reservoir at the bottom. I had these long big Lechuza pots, and I figured maybe I can fit my vandas into these and I can keep them watered while I'm on vacation, and the only thing my mom has to do is to check out that little sign thingy, that thing which actually moves up and down as the water level moves up and down in the reservoir. So the only thing my mom has to do, she will have to pour water inside, and that's all. And my vandas will be watered hopefully for 2 weeks. So right now I'm gonna show you what I did. I'm gonna show you them, how do they look like after 2 weeks of no watering from my side. And you know, let's go. So in the summertime I keep my I keep my orchids here on this windowsill. So I thought I'm gonna keep my vandas here when I'm away. They are not getting like that much sun as they are getting normally when I keep them hanged up, but they are getting some sunlight here as well. And maybe it's enough, you'll see what I'm talking about. So here is one of these Lechuza pots, and I thought since they are this wide and this tall, I thought I can actually put 2 vandas in it, which was quite a hassle, and I had to figure out a way how to tangle all the roots together to fit them inside, but I managed to do that with this pot, so they are staying right now here. This is my blue vanda, which is still blooming and I love it, and this is my Vanda Sanderiana, and my other Lechuza pot is here, and again 2 vandas are fitted there. One of them is this white vanda and the other one is that tiny little one which is just peeking out from it, and that's my, what's that called? Hiroshima choice, and this is the Mikasa white something princess. whatever. So that's where they are positioned right now, and that's how I kept them for these 2 weeks. And I'm still keeping them here because I wanted to show you, but after this video I'm gonna take them out. So this is that classical Lechuza system. So you have this inner pot and this part which is moving right now. You have to pour the water actually here on these holes. On the bottom it has 2 or 3 tubes which are going down into the reservoir, and the medium is there, and that's what actually wicks up the moisture to the surface of the medium. I did not place medium inside, only a little layer, and if we take a look inside, it's really dark. So there is the layer of medium. It's just a very fine layer, so it's not filled up. I just filled the bottom layer with medium. But here is the catch: I wanted to ensure that my vandas are getting enough moisture, so every time I filled up, or every time my mom filled up this reservoir, I made sure this thingy, which is faded because of the sunshine, which shows how much water is in the reservoir, I made sure that this has to go up to the top, and if it goes down below the maximum level, I told my mom to water it again, so the water actually will reach up to these pebbles, and they will help me to keep the roots hydrated. And that's how I kept them for these 2 weeks, and I can tell you it did work. If I take a look at my vandas, I can see that this Vanda Sanderiana is just a little tiny bit dehydrated. They are a little bit softer than usual, but my other one, the blue Vanda, is just fine. There's no problems with it. With these two, everything was okay. Just a little dehydration happened to this one, but might be because not enough roots are touching that surface of wet lacquer. I tried to make my best, but it was hard since I had to fit in 2 Vanda root systems into this, and it wasn't easy. And with this other one, I just made the same thing. I made sure to keep this level up here above the maximum level. As I'm touching the leaves of this one, I can feel just a little bit of dehydration, and as I'm touching the leaves of this tinier Vanda, again just a little bit of dehydration. So this method of keeping my vandas watered is not ideal for like a longer period, but for these 2 weeks when I was away and I didn't want to bother anybody with like I just, you know, I'm afraid that something will happen if my mom tries to like soak my vandas every day. Something would have happened, so I just wanted to find the easiest solution for her, for me, and for my vandas, and this is what I came up with. Since I wanted to keep my vandas hanged up after these 2 weeks, I just didn't want to bother with hooks of the wires, just taking off the wires from them. And also, if there would be no wires here, I'm sure that these vandas would fall out from these pots, because they weren't the most secured things in these. They were a little bit wobbly because, you know, I just placed them inside without no medium. That's risky, you know, and I wanted to make sure that they won't move, so I made this. I taped the wires to the windows. This is the ugliest solution I could do, but it worked. You know, this was an overkill, but I wanted to make sure that nothing will fall here. So this is how I secured my vandas here. It is clearly not a longer period solution, but for these 2 weeks it was perfectly okay. But since this moisture level was, well, let's say good enough for them, it wasn't perfect, but it was enough. I can still see that the root tips are growing, which is really great. As you can see, I have a root tip growing here, and then everywhere I have a huge root tip here appearing. And another good thing is that, look at here, we have another spike growing, so that's really good. So this happened in this system, and I'm not trying to say that this spike happened because of the transition into this method of keeping them. I'm saying that this method of keeping them was good enough for this Vanda not to abort the spike, for the spike not to dry up or something. So I think I covered everything which I wanted to talk about in this video regarding these Lechuza pots. If I wouldn't have these Lechuza pots, I wouldn't buy these for like keeping my vandas watered for my 2-week vacation, because these are not so cheap. But since I had these and I had no use for them, I thought, okay, well, why not try them out for these 2 weeks for my vacation, and we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take my vandas out from these Lechuza pots. I'm gonna rearrange everything because everything is really crowded right now because I wanted to fit these here. So I'm gonna take them out and care for them as I care for them regularly. So I will soak them every morning and I will hang them up. So I really think this was a successful idea. I just wanted to talk about this today. I just wanted to show you how I kept my vandas watered for 2 weeks. So this is my video for today and I hope you liked it. If you liked it, click on the like button, leave a comment down in my Novito section below. You can subscribe to this channel and you can turn on notifications and you can subscribe to my other channel. See you next time. Bye guys.